Hello and welcome to week 2 of Launch Camp. Hope you enjoyed the last week and hope you've been getting some really interesting feedback, some valuable feedback on sharing the wild orange and the peppermint. This week, we're going to start in that process of pipes, being prepared and making sure that you have everything you need ready for your doTERRA business. So allow me to bring up the slideshow and let's dive in. Now, whether I'm quoting the song from The Lion King or whether you're a good Cub Scout, we definitely want to be prepared. And this is a business. As we've mentioned that before, making sure that we're prepared, have a right foundation is really, really important. It's also really important to make sure we know exactly what we need to focus on and where we need to focus our time, our resources, and our energy, and where we don't. So this week, that's exactly what we're going to look at. So there are basically 3 things that need to be prepared. You need the correct resources, you need to prepare your schedule, and you need to prepare your network. And that's what we're going to divide today's presentation into, those 3 parts. So first of all, let's look at resources. Now, when you're starting a doTERRA business, whether you've been a customer for a short period of time or maybe a long period of time, it can be quite overwhelming when you look at just how many essential oils we have. And with all those pictured on this image right now, that's not even all of them. A lot of people come to me and go, well, I don't know as much as I need to know. I don't know what every oil is for. I don't know, I don't have all the oils and all that type of thing. You don't need to worry about that. The fact is, there are some core oils. There's actually 20 oils that you should have in your artillery and have a sound knowledge of them. How do you get that sound knowledge of them? By learning how to use them on a weekly basis. So let's have a little look at them. So the first 10 are in many of our starter kits, often known as the Home Essentials Kit, the Family Essentials Kit, or the Healthy Start Kit. It will vary from country to country what the names are. But basically, they are our lavender, our lemon, our peppermint, our tea tree, our oregano, our frankincense, our On Guard, our digestive blend, known as either Zengest or Digest Zen, our muscle and aches and pains blend, Ice Blue or Deep Blue, and our respiratory blend, known as either Easy Air, Breathe, or Air. Now, some of the starter kits will be slightly different to this, but having these 10 oils is really, really core. Why is that? It's because these 10 oils can help us with pretty much anything that will go wrong with humans. And as you kind of scan your eyes over the screen, you can think of anything that might be a challenge. Well, one of these 10 can probably help out with that. Yes, there may be some other oils that can help. Yes, there may be some other solutions, but we start off with this. We want to keep it simple for ourselves, but also for our customers. If you overwhelm a customer with too many options, then they confuse customers, just don't buy. And if you can give them direct, start with this, they'll get some great results, and then they can look at expanding their collection as well, as can you. So these top 10 are really great. Now, all of these, with the exception of oregano, can be used proactively. So lavender, I would encourage you to have that in your bedroom and be diffusing that at night and popping it on the soles of your feet. Lemon, I would encourage that to be the first oil you reach for each day, popping that a drop in the first glass of water. Peppermint is great. You can use that in a whole range of ways. I love to keep it with me for that mid-afternoon slump, popping a drop in my hands and breathing it in. So placing it on your desk or where you normally work, or you may be using it for any of the other ways that you can actually see that are listed on screen right now. Tea tree, pop that in your bathroom and give it a shot as a mouth rinse. If you don't like the taste, do 1 drop of tea tree and 1 drop of peppermint. Oregano, the reason we're not using that all the time is I want you to treat that like nature's antibiotic. So we only use that when we get sick. So we use On Guard as our proactive every day. Now, On Guard, we can diffuse it. We can pop it on the feet at the end of the night. We can make On Guard apples, but get into the habit of using that. If you do start to feel something going wrong, we then use oregano for 5 days on, 5 days off. And if we need it after that, we can go 5 days back on. and we either pop it on our feet, in the diffuser, or in a veggie cap. It's a hot oil, so we've got to be very careful when we don't pop it straight in our mouth or under our tongue. And if we are going to put it on the skin, we have to dilute it heavily. Breathe air or easy air goes in the shower, and we pop a few drops in that whenever we start the shower so we can breathe that in. Digest Zen is really great to either have in water or rub on your belly at least once a day to help with digestion. Frankincense, so many different uses for that, but it's great to add to your moisturizer at night, so put it in your bathroom, or it's also great to rub on the soles of your feet. You can also use it to enhance any other oils. And try using your aches and pains blend. Keep that at the end of the day. Really nice to give yourself a quick neck and shoulder rub. That's a beautiful way to check in with your body, see how your body's feeling, relieve the stress of the neck, holding up the head, but maybe leaning over the screen for so long. And from a more holistic point of view, it contains wintergreen, which allows us to surrender. How often have you been at home and you hear someone come in the door and you're like, oh, I'm about to pay for the bad day they just had? Well, this is a really great one for helping you to let go of what happened during the day so you can move on to the next chapter of your evening on a nice emotional level, starting with a fresh start as well. So those are the top 10. We do lots of training. We have lots of education, helping people to make sure they're using those 10, and you need to make sure you're using them as well. The second 10 that every home needs. If you don't have these in your collection, then I would suggest you grab these. Copa Eva is, I guess, a essential oil alternative to CBD oil. It's very soothing for many issues with the body and mentally and emotionally as well. Wild orange. Hopefully you have your wild orange. You've been sharing that around lots. So make sure you always have wild orange, because that is always one that we're sharing with everyone each and every day. And then what we have is we have core blends with doTERRA. We have our stress blend. We have balance, our emotional grounding blend. So both adaptive and balance are calming blends. Adaptive is more designed for mental stress. Balance is more for emotional stress or emotional overwhelm or anxiety. Citrus Bliss is, of course, our ultimate happy blend. We have Lavender Peace, also known as Serenity, which is our sleep blend. Clary Calm is a happy hormones blend. Now, if you're a man, do you need to grab this one? Yeah, because this isn't just going to be for you. You're going to share this possibly with women in your life. Metapower, which is our metabolism, weight, and energy blend. Shinrin Yoku, our forest bathing homeostasis blend. And Zendocrine, our detoxification blend. So these are the 20 oils that you want to have a good working knowledge with. You're diffusing them, you're adding them to your water, you're finding a way to use them and each and every week in one way or another. The reason I want you to have these 20 is often we're like, I don't know what to recommend to people in my life. So I want to give you a bit of a tip here. You will get people that will come to you for a whole range of different things. Some of them you would have heard of, some of them you've maybe helped other people out with, and some of them you have no idea. Autoimmune disorders is a common one, but different people have different issues with their autoimmune disorders. Most of us are not qualified health professionals, and so we are not here to diagnose and deal with diseases. And you should be very wary of actually referring to on social media or in public forums about, oh, this is great for cancer, this is great for asthma. No, what we're looking at is we deal with symptoms. So if I tell you I have an autoimmune disorder, you might go, oh, I don't know what to do. But if I said I'm not sleeping well and I get aches and pains in my legs, guess what? As you can see on this chart, and I'm sure you probably already know without looking at this slide, you know what to do. If I say, oh, I always get sick and I feel really stressed, you know which oils to recommend. I just feel like I'm always sick and I need to detoxify. Again, so this is a really helpful slide. I hope you can really take note of this one and realize that when we know our top 20 oils, we can flip them all around and they can help with pretty much every symptom. As you know, doTERRA doesn't just make essential oils, they make supplements as well. Now, one of the great things about supplements is that from a business point of view, everything in our supplement range comes in a 30-day supply. How long will a bottle of lavender last you? Well, even if you're using it quite a lot, it should last a few months. And so from a customer or a business point of view, people shouldn't be ordering their lavender all the time. And in fact, I'm actually going to add an extra video in the extra information for you to watch if you like, giving you some hacks on how we recommend to treat your loyalty rewards program. And the last thing we want to put on there is our oils after we have those 20 and keep them topped up. So there's a whole range of supplements. And Dr. Brannick Riggs, who's one of our head doctors, he's a GP and he's one of our educators, he was asked a really great question. There are lots of different supplements that are made by doTERRA. What do we need? And Brannick Riggs said this: just because we make it doesn't mean you have to take it. Now, there is no issue with taking all of doTERRA's supplements. The only two that clash with each other are MetaPower Assist, which prevents the breakdown of carbohydrates being turned into blood sugar, and Terrazyme, which encourages the breakdown of carbohydrates. So you don't take your MetaPower Assist and Terrazyme at the same time. You can take them over the period of the same day, but not within a 2-hour space of each other. However, all the other supplements, you could take every single one of them each day if you want to. But do you need to? These are the three that Dr. Brannick Riggs believes that every person on this planet should be taking. First of all, our lifelong vitality supplements. These are food-based, multivitamin, omega oils, and all your core, super performance herbs and essential oils in a pack of 3. Your MetaPower Advantage. This contains the collagen for not only your skin and your hair, but for your brain, your spine, your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles, and pretty much every cell in your body. It also has the NMN, which is what our body uses to produce energy, and we stop producing it as we get older. It's got resveratrol, it's got vitamin C. So we want to be drinking one of them away from meals each day. And PB Restore. This is a superior probiotic, which is in an enteric-coated capsule, which means it's not destroyed in the stomach, but is delivered to the intestines. And it has 24 different strains of bacteria, far superior than what you're going to find anywhere else on the market. I would encourage you to start getting hold of these 3 things. You need to have a sound knowledge of them. You need to know the benefits, and so you've got stories to share with other people about your experience with them, and they're going to be really great for your health as well. As you become confident talking about these 3 items, getting your customers on 1, 2, or 3 of these is going to be not only good for their health, but it's good for business because they need to order these every single month. Now, a healthy person should be just on these 3. If people are having other health challenges, they may want to add 1 or 2 of the other supplements that doTERRA has to support them. And then you are a wellness advocate. So you want to start practicing what you preach. What's going to allow you to talk about different products more powerfully than studying up on them and being book smart is being life smart, starting to experience them. As we know, doTERRA has skincare. We have protein and fiber and greens powders. We have cleaning products. We have everything that we'd use in the laundry and everything we'd use in the bathroom. What I would recommend you do, each loyalty rewards order, is start switching some of the things that you normally buy from a supermarket or a department store or a health food store and trying the doTERRA ones. When I started doTERRA, my philosophy was this: I'm going to try everything once. If I like it, I'll keep on opting for it because I know that I'm getting rewards points back as the customer. I know that I'm getting a good quality product, and I know that I'm supporting a company that is supporting people far less fortunate than myself. And most of the time, it's saving you money. Guess what? Everything doTERRA makes, I use. I do all my beauty, all my laundry, all my cleaning, shopping from doTERRA now. And as you have those great experiences, the more you start doing that, practicing what you preach, and then encouraging our customers to do that, then we would recommend they do the same thing as well. Now, when you watch that video about the hacks of the loyalty rewards program, I don't recommend that you start doing these massive orders. Do 100 or ideally 125 so you get your free oil of the month every single month. Just like we don't want our customers to be overwhelmed, I don't want you being overwhelmed as well. Feel confident with those 20 oils. Get familiar with using those 3 different supplements, and then start to add more and more products. Over a year, you're going to have a really substantial collection, and you're going to feel really confident talking about them. But don't feel you have to be an expert. If I asked you what was the best restaurant in the city that you love and that I should go check out, you'd probably, after a little bit of thought, be able to tell me which one that is. If I asked you who the head chef was, where they get their food from, and all those types of tricky questions, you probably wouldn't know. When we're referring products as an advocate to other people, it's just word of mouth. We're just going, I love this. It worked for me, or I know it worked for one of my customers or one of my friends or one of my colleagues said it worked really well. I think it would be great for you. You should give it a shot as well. That's the level you need to be at. The other thing I would encourage you to put on your next loyalty rewards order will be called something like the empowerment pack, the class in a box, or otherwise. Now, this is a pack of handouts, samples, and different things, and it will vary from region to region, country to country. But this is kind of designed is everything you need to run a information meetup, class, or session. Even if you're wanting to teach online, even if you're wanting to, you're not wanting to have big classes, I would encourage you to have this, because this is the foundation of every presentation we give, whether it be online, in person, with 1 person, 8 people, or 200 people. So getting familiar with this, getting those samples, often they come with it, but being able to offer some other samples to people like the deep blue rubs, giving the wild oranges, which we always like to give as a gift, those type of things, having that. So grab the class in the box or the empowerment pack. If you're not too sure what the pack is called in your region, then let me know. So what do you need? 20 oils, this pack, start getting the supplements, and then start adding more of the bathroom, laundry, and cleaning products as well. Right, we've got our products. What are we going to do? We need to make sure we have time for this business. As you may have heard me say before, the more you put into doTERRA, the more you're going to get out. It's going to be rewarding personally for you, but it's also going to be quite rewarding for you financially. But just like if you had a job and you only did a 2-hour or 3-hour shift a week, you wouldn't earn much money. Or just if you had a business and you only open the doors 2 hours a week, you wouldn't expect much money. It's the same with doTERRA. So this is our formula that we help you to adhere to and start to follow to schedule your success. We call it 2 + 2 + 2 + 1. So what we'd encourage you to do is allocate time on a daily basis. Ideally, this would actually be 7 days a week, but depending on what you want to achieve, you may want to cut that down to just the weekdays, you may want to cut that down to 3 days or whatever. And this is where looking at your calendar and actually blocking out time for you to do these different things will ensure you have that success. This should be able to be done in half an hour a day. Really, really easy. It can be done at morning, afternoon, night, whenever you want. What we want to do is we want to reach out to 2 potential customers. And we're going to look at those potential customers in your network in a little while. Then you want to reach out for 2 existing customers. So obviously, when you're just starting, you may not have 2 customers to reach out to every single day. Or if you've only got 2 customers, you probably don't need to contact them every day. But you want to get into that habit of, are there 2 different people to reach out to? Then each week, you want to have 2 meetup events. Now, I also want you to look at your calendar. You're currently doing week 2. We're going to start your weekly meetup events in week 5. So I want you to jump forward about 3 weeks in your calendar and start looking at Where do I have time to do this? Now, again, this is the great thing about doTERRA. You have the option of whether you want to do it at the same time every week or whether you need to be flexible. You might allocate Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings as your two meetup times. What will these meetup events look like? Well, they could be things like running a class or an information center, getting people together. It could be a coffee with one person. It could be doing an online class or doing something online. It might be going to a market stall or a fair or something like that as well. Anything where you are basically in front of a person or people actually talking to them and actually presenting them the oils and talking to them about their health concerns. You want to be doing 2 of these every week and have space to do that. Then we want to have one community gathering. This is where you get all of your community together. Now, it's quite possible you won't have to do this just by yourself. There will probably be other doTERRA events that you can take. You may, in your first month, you may have just 10 customers. Why don't you get all of them to go to the doTERRA event that's being held by doTERRA Corporate? Or you may kind of align with another doTERRA person, either in our team or outside of our team, and you bring people together. Now, getting people to come to these types of things has been challenging since COVID, because the idea, if people have the option of having dinner with their family, going out with friends, or coming to something where they're going to learn about sleep, sometimes that third option isn't the most desirable and you have problems getting people there. However, can you create a sense of community which is fun, where people want to come? What are some ideas? Different things will work in different regions depending on what your community is, but some people like to do wine, cheese, and oil nights, where basically everyone comes around, has a few drinks, and you talk about some of the oils. Maybe put 5 on the table, and that's what you talk about for the night. Spa days are great. Grabbing the doTERRA skincare ranges and using some of them and having a bit of a pamper day. We have the aroma touch and we have the symphony of cells techniques, which are really great to start familiarizing yourself with as well, and being able to offer them and do a bit of a share. You may have heard of Reiki Share. You can do that. You can do charity events where you get your people together. You can do make and takes, making rollerballs, making Valentine's Day presents, making aphrodisiac blends, making your own perfumes, making Christmas gifts, all those different type of things. Oracle card readings where everyone gets a sample to take home and then you follow up with them when you're doing a 2+2 the following week to see how they went using that brand new sample. Itovi readings, which is an electronic scanner. There are heaps of different things that you can do for that community event each month. But the more you can get people together in a fun way, it's health central, but doesn't have to purely be oil central. The main focus is the people getting together and having fun that they want to come each month. What I would also recommend is you get into the habit of going, okay, the first Sunday of every month or the first Wednesday night of every month. It's always great to do it around the start of the month if you can. The reason being is obviously we have new specials and promotions coming out at the start of the month. And if you can talk about them before people do their loyalty rewards order by the 15th, that's going to be a bonus as well. But whatever works for you. So again, to summarize, each day you want to be contacting 4 people, 2 potential customers, and we will talk a little bit more about where those potential customers will come from in just a minute, 2 existing customers. Each week, you want to have 2 meetups. Now, that could be coffee with a friend on Wednesday, and it could be an online mini class on Instagram on Saturday, or any type of in-person class as well with a group of people. And then you've got your monthly gathering event, which is either hosted by you and some other doTERRA community members, or hosted by doTERRA. Diamond is one of the key ranks that people kind of aspire to, where that's kind of time when you would definitely be, sometimes it's earlier than Diamond, but by Diamond, everyone can pretty much quit their job and do doTERRA full time based on that income. There is a school teacher. It took her nearly a decade to become a Diamond, but she only had 20 minutes each school day to dedicate to building her business. She, each morning, would take that 20 minutes to do her 2+2 religiously every single day. She would do meetups. She would do one night and one on the weekend, and she would do community gathering events every school holidays. And she got to Diamond. Now she was working full time, and all she could give was 20 minutes a day every day. Can you do that as well to make Diamond and give yourself that freedom? So you may be wondering, oh, why would I need to contact my current customers each day? Well, there are lots of different reasons, and we're going to go through some of these reasons a bit more thoroughly as we go through this launch camp. But we get every single customer to do their oil camp for their introduction and to have their personal consult with you or someone more experienced as a three-way call. If they haven't done that, we want to follow that up. We want to see how people are going with something they've ordered recently. There might be a new product come out, such as, when Meta Power Advantage first came out, I reached out to lots of my loyal customers, asked them if they're interested in me sending them 3 samples and would they let me know how they went. That could be a really great way and a positive reason people would want to hear from you. Maybe you've got an event, and rather than just kind of broadcasting out, think about who it's appropriate to and reach out to those people first. There's the aroma touch and the symphony of sales techniques that I spoke about. Who needs one of them? Why don't you practice them and give someone else another oil experience? Just because we're going to give people oil experiences beforehand, we want to keep on giving them oil experiences after they're a customer as well. There are reports, and there's going to be a separate video showing you how to find these on your back office if people's LRPs decline, if people cancel their LRP, if it looks like people are going to order the same thing again, it looks like they haven't changed their loyalty rewards order, or if someone's about to order under 100 or 125, you might want to reach out to them. People will appreciate that. Sometimes they don't realize that their credit card has expired and their order doesn't go through. All those different type of things, it's great customer service. So we've got our resources, we've got our schedule, we know how we're going to run our business. Now, who are we going to connect with? This is where we look at our network. Our network is obviously the people we know. And a lot of time, people tell me, I don't know a lot of people. Guess what? You don't need to know a lot of people. And in fact, we're going to give you different techniques to find and meet new people in a second. But also, when I look at my doTERRA organization of thousands of people in 25 countries, I probably knew less than 10 of them prior to starting doTERRA. Because as you start to build that sense of community, encourage other people to bring their friends along, they will meet people and introduce you to people and introduce you to people, and it's like a ripple effect. So don't worry if you have this idea that you don't know a lot of people. We're going to talk to some of the people that you do know, and we're going to help you meet more people, and we're going to help you tap into their networks as well. But in order to have a successful business, you need to keep on having access to new customers. That is part of the network. And in the extra information, we've got some resources to help you do that and meet people as well. One of the things when we start a new business, people are like, well, I don't want to be a salesperson. I'm no good at sales. Well, this is a sales position, but I don't like to necessarily focus on, can I sell to people? What I want and what I hope you can be is someone who cares about other people. Those that are the most successful in doTERRA are those that care the most. I'm guessing you're involved in doTERRA and doing this launch camp because you've had some positive effects from using doTERRA products. Now, there are people around this world having ongoing health challenges that are currently on their knees praying for a solution to come to them. Are you going to help them? Do you care about them enough to help them, to offer them a solution? Or are you going to let them live another day, sick, in pain, bloated, moody, stressed, debilitated in one way or another? Now, it is not our role to make everyone use doTERRA, but it is our role to offer the help that it can. Let them choose if they take your hand or not, but extend your hand, offering how doTERRA has helped other people, and you believe it could help them as well. So let me talk about your list. Some in your business building guide, you'll notice that in pages, let me just find the right pages again. In pages 15 and 16, they call it a names list. I like to call it a freedom list. Who are you going to free today? Who are you going to free from the pain, from the agony, from the suffering that they're experiencing? Whether that be physical, whether that be mental, emotional, spiritual, or even financial. What I'm going to encourage you to do this week is I want you to write a list. I would like you to take yourself on a hot date. You're going to go solo to a cafe or a restaurant when you have time, either, whenever it works in your schedule. And I want you to grab a pen and paper, order yourself your favorite drink, maybe a little treat. And I want you to write down a list of everyone you know. Now, I want to show you my list for a second. What I did for this is I went through my phone and there's one page, a second page. I then went through all my Facebook friends. I then went through Instagram and I just looked at all the different people I know. And I think my list is about 700 people. Some of these people I haven't spoken to in over a decade. Some of them I don't even know if they're still alive. Why am I writing this list? Sometimes when people do this list, they get really scared and they think, oh, well, most of those people would not be interested in doTERRA. I don't think they'll be interested in the oils. That's not what the list is about. And much to your relief and everyone else's, I'm not going to ask you to start cold calling everyone on that list with some jazzy kind of spiel. I want you to write down everyone that you care about, as though you have a magic wand and everyone who you write on that list gets ultimate health for the rest of their lives. What will happen when we're reaching out to 2 new customers a day? We just go through that list and we say hello to 2 people. There are the majority of those people on that list that I have not contacted yet, even after several years of writing that list. But occasionally I just run my eyes. I'm like, oh, Blake, I haven't seen him in a few years. I wonder how he's going. And I just send him a message. When I send him a message, I'm not trying to sell him doTERRA. Hey, man, how's everything going? Sometimes, we have a really good chat. We might jump on the phone and have a bit of a catch up and that kind of thing. He might ask me what I'm doing. And if I do, I tell him all about doTERRA. If he doesn't, that's all right. He might tell me some of the stresses he's having. If you see an opportunity where he goes, oh, kids are sick at the moment. Oh, I keep getting headaches. Then you go, I've actually got this thing that I've been working with recently that has really helped some other people out. Could I send you a sample and would you be interested in trying something for it? And he'll either go, yes or no. Your job is to care and to offer. And then take it from there. Over time, you will start to build a reputation of you are the person who has these amazing essential oils and other natural products that are really, really great. And you'll have people coming out of the woodwork and your customers will actually start coming to you. You may talk to 10 people from Monday to Friday, and only one of them is about what doTERRA is about. First of all, you're reaching out to people. You're increasing that network. People will start to, if you're doing it via social media, that will help in algorithms. Anything you do post on social media about your business will get to more people. It's not just about cold calling and trying to desperately sell to other people. I want to really stress that out. But I also want to tell you that there are people on this list who passed away and I hadn't spoken to in years. And I have regrets that I didn't reach out to them. There are other people on this list who signed up with someone else in doTERRA and is now benefiting someone else's business when I reckon they'd actually be better suited within mine. So there's no harm in reaching out. There's no harm in bringing up doTERRA when it's appropriate, if it's going to help them, not when it's going to help you, and see where it comes from. That is the 2 new people you're reaching out to. Now, with your list, it may not necessarily also be the people that you may not always go off your list. It may be people that have come up in your mind, that you met at a party on Saturday, that you saw someone post something that the kids won't go to sleep, or someone's got bed bugs or nits, head lice, all those different types of things. You're going to find after a while, as you get into the habit of just reaching out to 2 people a day, having a bit of a natter, having a bit of time to do that you're going to get this flow, and you're going to find enrollments and new customers will come out of that. But it's about getting yourself out of that network. Now, if you are doing it on social media, you can also find other sources there. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute. So get yourself on a hot date. Don't edit the list. It's everyone you know or have ever known. They go on the list. My list is 700 plus people on there. Don't come back to me with a list of 35 people, because I know that you have met more than 35 people in your life. You have more than 35 people that you went to high school with. Anyone you can write down their name. If you've got their contact, any way of contacting them one way or another, write them down. It's amazing what happens just by having that list. And if you do reach out to someone, you offer them doTERRA, it doesn't go to plan, doesn't matter if you've got 700 on a list and you just reached out to 2 of them. If you've only got 4 on your list and 2 aren't interested in doTERRA or already are with doTERRA with someone else, your business is starting to look a bit flaky. Do the list, do the homework, enjoy the hot date, buy yourself something nice. So the 4 ways that we expand and we educate our network. Let's talk a little bit about these. So we're going to have information sessions where we may, after we've sampled, and we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about the whole kind of the process of the rest of the pipes in the coming weeks, but you'll have information sessions. There'll also be friends that you can do information sessions for, and so on. A really great way to start off is when you're ready to do your first presentation, invite the people you care about most. If I was opening a cupcake shop, guess what I'd do? I'd ask my best friends and my family to try my cupcakes and tell me what they thought. When you're starting your doTERRA business, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm starting a new business. I need to practice doing a bit of a presentation, or we've got a bit of a presentation I want to practice. Can I try it out with you? What we find when people do that, guess what? Some of your friends and family, they want to become customers because you do a great job. Sometimes they don't, and that's okay. Dr. Hill, our founding doctor of doTERRA, all of his family aren't in doTERRA. So if Dr. Hill can't get his whole family, don't stress if you can't. But our job is to care and offer that hand of help. It's up to them whether they want to take it or not. Now, other ways that you can expand your network, and I'm going to put a list in the extra information where you can actually find a whole range of different ideas so that you're constantly meeting new people to be in contact with. But a really great one is stalls, markets, festivals, expos. This is where you set up a stand, and we've got a video that will show you how to do that. And there was a bonus video that you can watch if that's something of interest to you. Really great way to interact with the public, especially where people are ready to buy. There's a great way of doing that. Sharing through social media. So we have extra videos on that if that's an avenue you want to go down. What I would recommend is you share the same way you consume. If you're a YouTuber, start making videos for YouTube. If you like to watch Instagram stories, then start doing Instagram stories. We have tips on how to share it with social media, and doTERRA has them as well. I'm going to share that with you. If that's an avenue you'd like to go down, you can do that. I want to give you a little tip on one way to share with social media. When you have either Facebook page or Instagram or any of the other platforms that you may use, over time, you'll get followers. Now, don't just ignore those followers. We have Hessa Al Khalifa, she's currently gold, and she's still on the rise. What she would do is every time she got a follower, she would message them. She'd do a 2+2 each day. And she'd message 2 followers a day and go, thanks so much for following me recently. Love to know what interests you about my page, and can I send you some samples? What are you interested in? And she would do that. And each fortnight, she would run an online class that I would teach with her, and it got her to the level of gold, purely off her Instagram. She relied purely on that. So don't ignore your followers, connect with them, reach out to them. And there's other tips on how to do that as well. Now, if you happen to be a healer, if you're a massage therapist, a Reiki practitioner, a naturopath, any of those types of things, this is a great way to also expand and offer samples to your customers. This is part of what I call aftercare. When I go to a naturopath, I expect not only to have my consult and my advice, but I know I'm going to pay, you know, some significant money and go away with some dreadful tasting herbs that I've got to drink over the next month. When people come to you for a treatment, what are you doing to equip them to go back out into the big wide world? We know that we have an oil for everything. So can we give them something to help with their pain, to help with their sleep, to help with their stress, to help with their energetic boundaries, to help with their self-esteem? Yes, we can. Give them that sample. And then when they come back for the next appointment, or you can follow them up a couple of days later to see how they're going with it. That's another way as well. These are ways that we can expand our network through providing information sessions, doing meetups, by being at markets, sharing on social media, and also incorporating it into what we already do. So that is your core lesson for today. Please go through the other sections, look at the additional information. We've got some more videos, etc. in there. And we look forward to either me chatting with you or whoever chatting with you in your mentor this week. Don't forget to work through your pages in the product building guide as well. That's going to be really helpful for you. Next week, we're going to talk a lot about sampling and inviting people to find out about doTERRA. This week, we're going to get you all set. We're going to get you scheduled. You're going to have your list. You're going to have your timetable. You're going to have your next LRP ready to go with your order on it as well. I must also say it is important to always keep your LRP over 100 all the time, because that you don't get your commissions if your LRP drops under 100. So you want to keep that as well. So until next week, we will see you then. Enjoy getting prepared for your doTERRA business.